skies have cleared at Toyota Field this evening after a lot of rain earlier today, and we're going to have some great conditions for soccer. San Antonio FC going to celebrate Viva Night tonight, and for the first time, they'll welcome in Birmingham Legion. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. We welcome you upstairs to the broadcast booth with the coach, Tim Hankinson. I'm Dan Weiss. Great to have you with us. San Antonio FC coming off their first defeat of the season Sunday in the Valley against RGV. Birmingham Legion coming off their first win of the season over Memphis, Tim. And as we take a look at the Mountain Division standings right now, yes, it's early. We're not talking playoffs yet, but some teams are starting to make a statement at the top. Some teams got some work to do at the bottom.
It does. I mean, San Antonio dropped a spot with New Mexico's win. But this is a proving ground, playing against a team in a different conference. Birmingham, very good side, got good pace, and a lot of experience on the park. So it's our chance to show that we can bounce back after the Rio Grande result.
It's the first time since 2017 that San Antonio FC will welcome an Eastern Conference foe here to Toyota Field. Well, they welcomed an old face this week as well. Jordan Peruzza, returning on loan from Toronto FC on Thursday. And Tim, this was a player last season who, when he came in September, made an immediate impact for the club.
He did make an impact. His activity, his explosiveness. But for me, there are guys who are strikers, who put a ball generally in the direction of the goal. But he is a goal scorer, and he picks his spot and is outstanding technician around the box.
He's going to start on the bench tonight. We'll see if he comes on at some point into this game, depending on how things play out. Well, it's the first time we're seeing Birmingham Legion, Tim. And as we take a look at the tail of the tape between these two teams, it's interesting. We know San Antonio FC's gotten off to a great start offensively. What stands out for you for the visitors coming into tonight?
Well, I mean, certainly their possession is much greater in percentage than what San Antonio's done, which is something else we'll get into as the game goes on, looking for improvements there. But their goal is for a little bit lacking for a team that has the experience. I mean, Junior Fleming, the Jamaican international, outstanding pace. He's only had one game, this last game last week, but he was the leading scorer in the entire league playing with Phoenix last year. So they've got more firepower. It's yet to come.
And they got 15 returnees. For Tommy Sohn in his third season coaching this Birmingham Legion club, they come to San Antonio tonight trying to spoil the party. Viva Night. It is the first of 3 Viva Nights here at Toyota Field. It should be a lot of fun as we celebrate the heritage and culture of San Antonio. San Antonio FC, Birmingham Legion FC. It's coming up next.
Summer's here, and with a great deal on a new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer sports, like softball, beach volleyball, triathlons, racing, golf. Whoa! Someone needs lessons.
During the Summer Starts Here sales event, get $750 customer cash. Or qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Highlander L for only $309 a month.
Get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
You didn't ask for it, but boy, are you gonna want it. Say cheese. The new stuffed Cheez-It Pizza, available only at Pizza Hut. Now part of the 5 and Up lineup. You're welcome.
What's going on with Patty?
Oh, he's in Mootopia again. He gets that way every time he drinks Mootopia.
H-E-B Mootopia? That stuff is incredible.
Exactly.
Patty. Patty. Patty!
Bro, you were just a squirrel. And you were a bird. And you were a deer.
I was a deer. Rudy looked more like a squirrel type to me.
So what kind of bird are we talking about?
H-E-B's Mootopia. Ultra-filtered milk with 50% less sugar and 13 grams of protein.
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardoni. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio FC back once again with the lead.
Hello, this is Cornell with Frost Bank.
Hi there, this is Terry with Frost.
Good evening, this is Franklin.
This is Robert with Frost.
Hello, this is Rosemary with Frost Bank.
Toyota Field, the site of tonight's match. San Antonio FC, Birmingham Legion meeting for the first time in each other's history. And look at our starting 11s for both sides. For the visitors, Birmingham Legion coming off a 1-0 win at Legion Field last week over Memphis. Up top, we mentioned Junior Flemings, who over the course of the last 2 seasons in Phoenix had 29 goals with Rising. Nico Brett has both their goals this season. And in the net is the reigning USL Championship Player of the Week, Matt Van Oekel. Not only posted the clean sheet against Memphis, but had the assist on the goal to Nico Brett in that game as well. Under head coach Tommy Sohn in his 3rd season at the helm, coaching Birmingham Legion. For San Antonio FC, it's going to be a different look tonight than we've seen in the first 3 games. Going to go 3 in the back, 5 in the middle, with Varela, Doyle, and Duplan, and Patino and Nathan up top. And Jose Gallegos will get his first start after coming off the bench last week in RGV. Sergei Demenchuk, our center referee, assisted by Francisco Bermudez, Sergio Santana, and Gerald Flores is the 4th official. We're underway with the coach Tim Hankinson, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us tonight from Toyota Field. San Antonio FC celebrating Viva Night. They are wearing their 3rd kits, the alternate kits tonight. 10th different kits San Antonio FC has worn in 6 seasons. Black with the trim Fiesta colors going right down the middle. Birmingham Legion in their away red kits trimmed in white. And Gallegos, his first touch as he drives in, attacking, gets one on net, save, rebound, score! Patino in the opening minute, his 5th of the season. And what a start for SAFC on Viva Night.
Gallegos picks up where he did last year, being the creator. Coming inside, hit a great shot, hard and low, giving Van Oekel, their keeper, only the open hand, leaving the loose ball. Great goal, great follow-up.
Another early goal for San Antonio FC, which has become their trademark under Alan Marcina the last couple of years, and that guy has the Golden Boot lead all to himself with his 5th goal of the season.
Tremendous start for him. I mean, obviously goals are a team game, but when you have an individual that you can look at and say, this is the guy that if we need a goal, this is who we need to get the ball to, he's certainly making that mark for himself so far this season.
It's amazing when you think about it, Tim. He came into this season, and yes, he's only 24 years of age, but just 3 goals in 24 career matches, 2 at the Major League Soccer level with Orlando City, and then 1 when he was on loan to Sonora last year. I mean, he's more than doubled that output in the first 4 matches of the season.
Yeah, such a great path, a journey for him, you know, coming out of Columbia and then playing for FIU, Florida International University, having tremendous goals there, and then getting drafted, I think it was by Orlando City, and moving on to San Antonio here, where right now, I mean, he looks highly motivated, and he's making a mark for himself as a top scorer in this league, most dangerous man on the park.
He had the lone goal in the loss last Sunday down against RGV FC, the first defeat for San Antonio FC after they opened with a 3-0 win here on May the 1st in the season opener against Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, and then the following Saturday, a 2-2 draw in a wild game against Real Monarchs SLC. But here at home, Tim, where they've been outstanding, they've gone unbeaten in their last 15 at Toyota Field, 11-0-4, dating back to August of 2019, which was their last defeat, 3-2 against Sacramento Republic. And on top of that, it's now the 15th time in their last 20 matches that they've scored the opening goal, the 3rd time this year. And they are 12-1-2 when getting that opening goal, Tim.
Tremendous marks there. You know, Coach Marcina has obviously reshaped after the last Rio Grande game some of his lineup, both in player personnel, but also they've gone back to a back 3, looking almost in a formation of a 3-4-1-2, with Gallegos being that underneath link man. And so this is a familiar system that they had great success with last year, and already it's producing for them with the 3 runners up top.
It's already their 3rd goal in the opening quarter hour of the match as well, which, again, that has just simply become their trademark, getting on their front foot early and just taking advantage right from the get-go. We saw that so many times last season with Luis Solignac. Remember last year against RGV, scored 9 seconds into the match, tied for the fastest goal in USL Championship history, as Nathan Gets on the end of that delivery from Gallegos, but unable to keep it in play. You can already see Gallegos' impact here as he gets the start tonight. His first start, and just, the legend that is Jose Gallegos, and we say legend, I mean, he's only 19 years of age, but just continues to wow every single time sets foot on the park. Last season in 16 matches with San Antonio FC, 12 of those which were starts, 2 goals to go along with 3 assists. He was also second on the club in chances, Tim, creating 23 of them. That's another chance right there you can add to his resume, setting up the goal for Patino in the 45-second mark of this one.
Well, we could see his development last year is that every team needs to find that creative player that can help set up goals and feed players into great spots. And his ability to penetrate on the dribble, draw defenders, and slip passes to find the open man is showing again this year and going to be very important in the goal production.
Meanwhile, for the visitors, it will be interesting tonight how they respond, not only after this opening goal, but after their first win of the season over Memphis a week ago, a 1-0 win, in a game which Nico Brett scored again, his second goal of the season. They only have 2 goals. That goal they just conceded a moment ago was only the 3rd they've conceded this season, so they've played 3 very tight matches. An open-up style, though, might be something they're looking forward to. They did have 10 shots on target in that win last week. That was second most in the championship so far this season. So they can get up and down and play a little bit, certainly have the personnel to do so.
Very difficult angle here for a keeper. And even the ability to get your body position a half step in front of your opponent. And you've got to go up first. As this ball is served up in the air, you cannot be flat-footed. You cannot turn off. You've got to be first up, spreading your arms, making sure your opponent can't get up over the top of you.
That's Ryan James, the left back, right now over the ball. Bruno Lapa there as well. Lapa last season was second on the club with 8 goals, looking for his first marker this year for the 24-year-old. Lapa will play it to the top of the box. Driven down and just off the post as that ball came through from out top by Croniali. San Antonio FC dodges an early equalizer attempt as Sam Gleadle unable to keep it in play over on the far touchline.
Yeah, defending a restart like that's a little bit different than the flow of play. But, Dan, I was mentioning earlier that 3 of the last 4 goals that have been given up by San Antonio have been shots from the 18 where the defenders can't get out to put pressure on it. And it's really got to be midfielders being more conscious to recover quicker and defend back and put pressure to disrupt those shots.
As you saw in the replay, that got through the crowd. It beat Matt Cardoni, but it did not beat the woodwork. And it remains 1-0 San Antonio FC, but a tremendous start to this one here in the opening minutes tonight at Toyota Field. A goal for Patino, his 5th already in 4 matches. No San Antonio FC player has scored as many goals in as short a time span in the entire franchise history. Patino certainly has been the offseason acquisition of the entire league at this point.
Right, and you look at all 5 of the goals he's been a part of. It's that typical poacher's positioning. He's always going right down the middle to find himself in the 6, looking for that loose ball to take advantage of. And that was a perfect example, is, following the shot and letting it fall his way and then finishing it beautifully.
Leads the club in shots, tied for 10th overall in the championship. And we know he's physical too as well, Tim. He is tied for the league lead in yellows as well. He's got 3 of them through the first 3 matches of the season. Here's Junior Flemings. Last week, 4 shots, 3 on target. Just his first match of the season, coming off the 6-match suspension that he received at the end of last year as a member of Phoenix Rising against San Diego. Much publicized match on September the 30th. Usage of a homophobic slur against Colin Martin of San Diego Loyal. After investigation by the league, it's determined that Flemings received a 6-match suspension. Was not brought back by Phoenix, getting a second opportunity with Birmingham.
Well, I remember him well because when I was coaching Montego Bay United in Jamaica, he was an 18-year-old playing for Tivoli Gardens, one of the top men's professional teams there. And he was, even though he was young, he was playing against professional men, but didn't look young. He showed experience and game savvy, and so it's great to see him in this league doing so well.
And he has been, to your point, talking about poachers, a goal poacher, 53 career goals in USL play over 126 matches, 63 in his 9-year career, and still only 25 years of age. Junior Flemings, midfielder out of Kingston, Jamaica.
That's what I call in Spanish raton, which is the rat looking for the cheese inside the 6-yard box. He's all of that.
And a few guys like that as well with Nico Brett. A couple of seasons playing in Pittsburgh, 32 goals over 70 matches with the Riverhounds. He had 9 goals in his first season with Birmingham a year ago. They lead their club in scoring and has their only 2 goals, as mentioned, so far this year. As Glito unable to find that one as it's steered out. San Antonio FC with the throw.
And you know, Brett is like so many of the players out here. They have a story of a journey. And he started in Jamaica, found himself at Robert Morris College, which is in Pittsburgh, and then gets picked up by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and just progresses his way through the league to find himself in Birmingham. So great opportunity and path he's taken.
A former second-round pick by Portland Timbers 2 back in the 2016 Major League Soccer Super Draft. San Antonio FC, their roster, which again featuring 14 newcomers on the club here this year, is fouled by Liam Doyle. 9 returnees now with Jordan Perusa coming back to the club. Brought back on loan from Toronto FC. There's Liam Doyle, which is his 3rd career match with San Antonio FC. He's been with the club for a while, Tim, when you think about going back to the end of last season, joining them in September. But last week was technically his first career match in USL play for San Antonio FC. As, of course, the postseason doesn't technically qualify.
Yeah,
that match.
He's a tough man marker, very good in the air, plays you physically. I mean, going up against Junior Fleming here, he's not going to give Fleming the chance to turn and run on him. He'd rather commit the foul and let's reorganize, but don't give Fleming a chance to get his game off.
Gallegos and Nathan trying to work the 2-man game. And instead, it's Jeff Dean, or Jonathan Dean, rather, will get rid of it, releasing it back to the midfield. Mathieu Deplan, who missed last week's game in RGV with an injury, back tonight. Doyle, Flemings shadowing him. Liam Doyle will return to Matt Cardoni. Cardoni making his 80th appearance for the club. He's closing in on Greg Cochran's all-time career mark, 93 matches in San Antonio FC history, as Cardoni begins the night. An overall record of 35 wins against 28 defeats, 16 draws, 20 clean sheets in his San Antonio FC career.
Well, we've got a beard at each end. Van Okel,
that's true.
For Birmingham, a very established keeper with NASL, USL, MLS experience. 6'4", built a lot like Cardoni. And, of course, Cardoni, our own beard down there, who's just had an outstanding path himself to become a very accomplished keeper.
Matt Van Oekel, 34 years of age. The Golden Glove in the NASL in 2016. Member of Edmonton, won a championship in the NASL with Minnesota back in 2011. This is his 45th regular season appearance for Birmingham. You should see him right there, 16 clean sheets in his Legion career.
Yeah, we met Edmonton, who he was playing for in 2016 when he was Golden Glove, in the semifinals when I was coaching Indy 11. We won that day and went on to the finals against the Cosmos, but nothing but respect for him, a very accomplished keeper.
And as mentioned before, he was Player of the Week. He still is the reigning USL Championship Player of the Week. 5 saves for the 16th clean sheet in his Birmingham career last week in the victory over Memphis, and the assist on the Nico Brett goal. It was the 10th time that a goalkeeper has had an assist in championship play since 2017, and it was the 6th time a keeper's had an assist and a clean sheet. Gallegos to Patino, can't handle it cleanly, releases it to Lima, and Lima sends it over frame with a left boot.
You could see the excitement and the movement of the players as soon as they won the ball in the opposing half. 3-4 players breaking into the box, and when you have that kind of ambitious numbers moving into the box, good things are going to happen.
San Antonio FC in their defeat on Sunday only had 2 shots on target against RGV. We're outshot 7-2, faced a lot of pressure. And clearly, if you look at the overall 3 performances, that was maybe certainly their poorest compared to opening night here, and then even the 2-2 draw against Real Monarchs, despite the fact they had that 2-0 lead in that match against Monarchs that they conceded.
Well, you know, you go to the first game, and the game was played very direct. Patino had 3 goals. Their possession numbers and number of passes was not very high by league standards. But when you produce 3 goals, despite that fact, then you throw analytics out to the window. Against RGV, we only had 137 passes when most teams average 350, and some even get to 400 and 500 passes. Our possession that game was 28%, and that's just not a strong enough possession number or number of passes to feel like you're getting your share of the play. So it's great to see now they've settled the game a little bit. Possession is better, and it's helping set up the opportunity to get a ball into Gallegos where he can set up his players inside the box.
For the first quarter hour, SAFC up 1. The goal by Patino in the opening minute. We showed you possession numbers at the top. Birmingham at 51% coming into tonight. SAFC at the bottom of USL, 38%. Going back to that passing note you were discussing, coming into tonight, just 3 matches, but Birmingham has completed almost 700 more passes, successful passes, than San Antonio FC.
Yeah, and you have to be careful with the analytics of statistics because they don't always dictate the day. But clearly there are some general numbers that if everyone in the league is just about averaging 300 passes or more, and you're always trying to get your possession number percentage 48, 49, 50, on a really good night, 51 or 52% where you actually dictate the numbers. The numbers just haven't been there, and I think this is something for Coach Marcina and the staff to be very conscientious of, that this is an area we need to improve, to have better control of the possession of the game.
Birmingham Legion is one of 3 teams, I think it's 4 teams, in fact, that San Antonio FC will see from the Eastern Conference this season. Sergei Demanchuk has to get in between Kranyali and it's like Gallegos, Patino all there. Matt Van Okel in the middle of things too.
It's something we've seen from the very first game against Colorado, that the San Antonio players do not back down. If they feel they've been wronged or misrespected, they're going to stand up for themselves and they're going to stand up for each other. The key is having control enough with your actions that it doesn't turn into yellow and red cards to the level that it can. Otherwise, we lose the qualities of great players as the game goes on.
And looks like a yellow both to Patino and to Fanuel Cavita for either side. That's, again, that's been Patino's MO. Get a goal, get a caution. He's got 5 goals, 4 cautions, leads the league in both.
Well, look at that on the replay. We're seeing a little bit of headbutting, which can easily lead to red cards. So we're putting ourselves in a dangerous position here. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I hope that Patino gets control of that, because he's a player that we don't want to be sitting out with suspensions because of cumulative yellow cards. We need to keep a guy like that in games and on the park.
Van Okel misses trying to parry that one out. Lima trying to send it back to the top of the 6, redirected out there.
You know, Dan, it's a much different attitude and spirit tonight with San Antonio. In the first game, they had this same type of aggressiveness. In the last game against Rio Grande, they kind of sat back. There wasn't the high pressure. We were basically defending in our own half, and we weren't building passes enough. I mean, if you defend in your own half and win the ball there, you know, it's going to take 8, 10 passes to get a chance on goal. And if you're not collecting those passes, you're not going to create chances. So it's good to see them aggressive in this game.
First corner of the match belongs to San Antonio, and it's brought down inside the area by Nathan, but gobbled up there by Van Okel. Will settle things down. Out wide to the left back, Ryan James was also on that team of the week for his performance against Memphis.
Something we see in Birmingham's adjustment, their most dangerous player and scorer, Junior Fleming, is now on the left side, which is his natural position as a left winger. And he'll come inside to be dangerous. And he better start getting goals, because when June rolls around, he's one of 5 Jamaican players in the league that have been invited into the Jamaican national team for a 3-game tour in Japan. And that means he's going to be missing a number of matches.
Nathan trying to play it across the face of goal, directed out. Another corner coming up for San Antonio FC.
It's great to see PC back on the park. Lost him for a couple of games due to an injury, and he's such an important, anchor in there to collect and control the tempo, and just an outstanding player.
Wearing the armband again tonight as the captain. Nathan back as well. He missed the game Sunday in the Valley after serving the 1-game suspension following the red card he received against Real Monarchs. It's headed out of danger's way. And it lands back here to the other newcomer, Joaquin Varela, who makes his first start here at home. Varela got the start on Sunday, comes from Argentina and San Martin as he's on loan. 24-year-old in his 5th pro season. This is his 37th career match.
Always a challenge coming from a different country into a league that you're not familiar with, getting used to the opponents, the style, the pace that we play here in the U.S. But he'll fit in nicely, given some time.
San Antonio FC has dealt with some injuries on the back end to start. Remember, Axel Schuberg on opening night played just 20 minutes and has yet to return. Connor Maloney has been out since training, dealing with a lower body injury. It's nice to get Deplan back, but then Jasser Kamiri is out as well tonight with an injury too. So it's just a cycling of injuries right now on the back end as Alan Marcina tries to find some continuity of some sorts of his back line, and maybe perhaps why he's decided to switch from going 4 in the back to 3 in the back tonight.
Or you may not have a 4th back.
You may not.
You play the way you have to play. But I think, Dan, we talked about this many times last year as we would look at the lineups game in, game out, and the consistency of having the same back 4 or give or take 1 change throughout the entire season was so consistent.
Junior Flemings making the run. Didn't get all of it there with the right foot, and Cardoni's able to scoop that one up. But that's where he's dangerous, Tim, when he gets out in space and is able to make those diagonal runs coming from the left side.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very important as he runs across a defense like that. Each defender is saying, do I have him? Do you have him? The communication that's necessary and passing him on so he doesn't run so freely.
He'll keep Deplan, Varela, and Liam Doyle certainly on their feet all night. Sam Gleedle covering as well over on that far touchline's going to have to come back for support as well. Mathieu Deplan gets it up forward. Patino to ground. San Antonio FC in possession. Lima volleys this one along. Van Okel ahead of Nathan's run.
Yeah, when you get in a one-on-one matchup like our defenders are going to face with Fleming, the key for them to have worked on is where am I going to get my help from if I'm in a one-on-one with space around me. And it's very important the defenders know to slide over, midfielders dropping in, and to channel that player.
Junior Flemings, great ball. His bid just goes wide. What a delivery, though, across. As Asiadu sent it back in Junior Fleming's direction with a tremendous ball across.
Yeah, this is where their player, Brett, instead of him looking as their center forward, number 11, instead of looking for a cutback ball, he's got to be sliding through the 6-yard area, looking to cut off any driven ball that might go through there and leave that withdrawn position, looking for the cutback for midfielders coming on.
Anderson Asiadu escapes pressure from Gallegos. And again, Junior Flemings is onside. And now it's 3 against 2. Good recovery by San Antonio FC. J.J. Williams off the bar.
Hate to say it, Dan, but our best defender tonight is those goals posts.
Twice.
They've stopped 2 of them.
Croniali almost immediately after the goal scored by Patino. And here's J.J. Williams off the crossbar. And apparently they'll say SAFC got a piece of that and a corner coming up here for Birmingham.
And what a difference for Fleming. Every player in the first 20 minutes tries to alternate sides of play, trying to find a matchup that works better for him. He had nothing going down the right. And on the left, every time he's touched the ball, he's creating scoring opportunities. So that's going to be dangerous the rest of the night.
Demanchuk threw a caution up as well after the play was blown dead. We'll see who officially it's on. It was kind of a scrum there inside the 6-yard box. Meanwhile, here's the first corner of the evening for Birmingham Legion. They'll play short, and then they'll give it away. Ryan James losing possession to the wrong guy. Jose Gallegos in space, getting up that far touchline, cuts it back here to the middle of the park. Gallegos. And a good recovery by Birmingham Legion. This ball sent towards the back post, and Fanuel Cavita with the clearance, heading it back over here to the near side. Chris Lima keeping it alive, playing it across the face, a goal very dangerously. Gallegos! And he puts it well into the crowd at Toyota Field.
We won't talk about the shot, but that breakaway, you can see his maturity catching up from last year. How he cut the ball back, he realized he was alone, needed to wait for teammates to have a better approach. Really intelligent play.
Well, for two clubs who have never seen each other, Tim, an electric start here tonight. I mean, there has been tremendous pace to this match. Neither club has gone to the old method of let's try to settle into the first 15 or 20 minutes here tonight.
Both of them are trying to win the game in the first half.
PC brings it down, pressure coming from Nico Brett. Handled well, Gallegos upfield. San Antonio FC on the attack. Patino making the run, gets behind the defense, but Van Oekel is to it first.
Good read by Van Oekel, but just a little bit less tempo on the pass would be the difference maker there. But a great run, shows the great confidence he's got in Nathan's ability to feed him. Not looking to cut back and get the ball at his feet. He's looking to lead himself towards goal and get the shot off.
Joaquin Varela, we're told, received the caution right before the Birmingham corner a few minutes ago. So 2 cautions on SAFC here in the first half. That gives them 10 yellow cards here through the first 3 matches plus.
Well, we're leading the league in one statistic, it looks like.
Believe it or not, they're only tied for 12th coming into tonight's
match.
Really? Yeah. New York Red Bulls, too, is off and running 15 cautions to begin the season.
That's a lot of cautions, but, you know, you've been pent up in preseason training and you're ready to explode out of the blocks. And some of these moments you overplay physically and catch cards, and I'm sure the referees have been, you know, educated by their director to say, hey, let's call it tight from the start and set the tone for the season, that we want to play football and not just a physical game.
Ofemu, the vertical ball, it's headed out, possession to Birmingham. What's your thought on both clubs playing, really going for the home run balls here in the first half? A lot of vertical balls both ways so far to start this match.
Yeah, it surprises me with Birmingham because I've watched when, let's say, Van Oekel starts with it. He's really trying to play the 2 center backs. They're looking to play the short pass out, so they're in this framework of trying to build up. But as soon as it gets past those defenders, now they're starting to look to play the penetrating ball in behind. And I think that with San Antonio, now that they've got 3 players, Nathan and Patino and Gallegos, all leaning very high against their defense, it's easy enough to try and play it up there and see what they can do with it.
San Antonio with the throw as we approach the first half hour. SAFC with a goal, 45 seconds in. Santiago Patino getting his 5th, his championship-leading 5th of the season from Jose Gallegos. Nathan on the attack, defended well by Ofemu, and he'll release it across the field.
I still would like to see PC get more involved in the play, more on the ball, because I think to beat a back line with the long ball, you have to play some short to build a slower tempo and then catch the defense a little bit flat-footed. But he's not been involved in the play at all, and he's such a vital leader on the ball that, you know, the team's got to gear themselves more to playing him into the game.
You see PC wearing the armband, making his 17th appearance with San Antonio FC. His 111th career match. Lima.
There he is getting forward. That's good to see.
And PC returning it to Plan. Back to PC. Gallegos. Edge of the box here. Running on Jonathan Dean. To the top for Patino. Can't release this one. Looking for some space. Just could never find it. And it lands back here. Cam Lindley inside the box. And Afemu puts that just directly high into the air before it's brought down across by Croniali. And Croniali is fouled in the corner.
And Dan, that was a pretty good example we saw just a second ago where PC gets on the ball, he plays it back, he gets it back, and then finds Gallegos in behind. It was just changing the tempo a little bit so it's not so expected as a long ball.
Jonathan Dean, the right back. Looks to get forward here. Plays that off Lima. And again, is Dean looking vertical ball deep for either Nico Brett up top, J.J. Williams as well in the vicinity. And so Dean will try again.
A tendency by Birmingham has been in their previous games to get their wing backs very high and allowing their wingers to come inside and be dangerous to join the center forward, creating marking problems for the defense. Tonight, I don't see as much of that. I think Dean and James seem to be sitting back, just kind of keeping shape with their two center backs. Maybe a more conservative approach in the first half being the road team.
Sergei Demanchuk blowing everything dead. We start again. Bruno Lapa. Across the field, Ryan James. Junior Flemings, plenty of space, corner of the box, makes his move. Nice recovery there by San Antonio FC.
And San Antonio's midfield did a good job collapsing on him, not giving him the space to continue that run.
Manoka lets it ride out as he watches Nathan, and now will return to his net. And the throw here for Birmingham Legion. A season ago in the condensed schedule, 7 wins against 5 defeats, 4 draws, 25 points. They were second in Group G. They lost in the group quarterfinals to the eventual Eastern Conference champion, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, 4-2. Back-to-back years in the postseason, now in their 3rd year. As Brett will find Junior Flemings. This possession will stay with Birmingham for their 2nd corner of the match.
They've done a good job building. I mean, they're still a fairly new franchise. Jay Heaps, former player at New England Revolution, is the president. And Tommy Sohn, a former head coach at New England, but also a great defender at Chicago Fire, coach DC United. A lot of experience, a lot of knowledge about the player pool out there. So they'll continue to make progress as a club, I feel.
This is James, the left-footed in-swinger here. Sends a deep ball towards that back post. And it's DePlan who gets on the end of it, brought back down outside the box and put on frame. Cardoni's got it, and he looks to get rid of it in a hurry. Heaves this one out in the direction of Sam Gleedle. And Croniali will play it back to the midfield. And a foul on Asiadu. Anderson Asiadu. Was the 24th overall pick by Atlanta in 2019. PC tries to give this one a go and directs back to J.J. Williams. Williams with the ball at his feet, and will play it off Lima and a throw. Williams, the native of Montgomery, Alabama, was originally taken by Columbus Crew, 18th overall in 2019. So the 2 players on the roster selected 6 picks apart, and J.J. Williams from Columbus and Anderson Asiadu for Atlanta United.
Now, are they Columbus SC? Are they the Crew?
That's true, yeah.
Have we figured out what they're going to be?
And this attempt just wide of frame from Nico Brett.
This is something, Dan, I was talking about earlier in the match, is getting pressure on the shooters outside the 18. A defender cannot, once he's collapsed in the box, get out there fast enough to disrupt the shot. I mean, you saw Liam Doyle probably 5 yards off. That's not close enough to disrupt the shot. It's got to be midfielders like PC and Lindley dropping and looking to put pressure from behind.
And it was actually Junior Flemings giving that attempt, not Brett, even though the two were crossed directly right in front of each other. And Fleming certainly, again, had 4 shots last week in his first match, making his presence felt. Here's Gallegos. He's made his presence felt here early. And a corner awarded to San Antonio FC, which will be their 3rd of the match.
You know, last year he held the ball so well, would take players on and draw players, not just one, but 2 or 3 at the same time. But I never felt that he was aware of where his teammates were in order to draw defenders and slip the pass to the open man. I'm seeing tonight a more mature Gallegos where I feel like he's drawing defenders with the purpose in mind to feed the open man. And that's going to pay dividends with more opportunities on goals.
Jose Gallegos went on trial to Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga earlier in training, and also to Barcelona in La Liga in Spain before rejoining San Antonio FC. And the European League, of course, which plays an opposite schedule of the North American Soccer League. Their transfer window for European soccer will open up sometime in June, and then that will certainly be the question of whether or not Jose Gallegos will remain a member of San Antonio FC and for how much longer.
Well, and it's also interesting placing young players. I mean, it sounds great to say, hey, you're going to be picked up by Bayern Munich, but at the same time, you may never get a chance to play in a club like that. Versus, let's say, going and spending a couple of seasons with a very good team in Belgium, which is the next tier down, and making sure you're getting playing time and experience, and then look for the next transfer to a higher level club. But that's the job for technical directors and agents to worry about.
Nice touch from Williams. Dean gets forward, trying to play it off Lima, and Dean concedes possession, and Dean will lose the battle there to Chris Lima, former captain for New York Red Bulls too. Lima making his 3rd start, came off the bench for Schuberg on opening night, and essentially this is 4 straight starts for the 24-year-old Chris Lima. That's Cam Lindley, who's down on the pitch here. He's going to need some attention here in the 38th minute.
It's been a challenge with these teams where the preseason, you know, with quarantine issues and limited numbers and trying to do Zoom fitness sessions, it's just been so out of whack that I have to admire coaches who understand that much about technology. I'm not so sure I'd be able to manage a Zoom fitness session, but it means the bodies aren't quite necessarily where they need to be. And this can result in early season injuries and pulls. So hopefully we get through this stretch and gain the full match fitness that players need to endure the punishment and the demands out there.
Here's a look at the upcoming schedule. This is the start of a 2-match homestand for San Antonio FC, and part of a stretch of 4, their first 5 matches at home. RGV here next Saturday night. Then they go on the road for 3 straight. You'll see at Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, at Las Vegas, and at New Mexico before returning home once again to see RGV on the 19th of June.
Well, I mean, and you look at 2 of those games, Rio Grande Valley and the other Rio Grande Valley. I mean, their coaching change, their personnel change have really given them a legitimate side. And Wilmar Cabrera, the former Houston Dynamo coach, he played with my former player Valderrama in the World Cup for Colombia as a national team player. This guy has such tremendous experience and know-how that I know he's going to do good things with them. which makes our challenge that much greater to keep up with that top position.
You saw Cam Lindley was able to walk off under his own power, and he's waiting to be let back in by the center referee. Lima volleys this one along. Nathan holding on to possession before he's stripped. And it's James taking it from his opposite fullback.
Yeah, we know Patino is always going to be pushing deep as the number 9, probably in most cases closest to goal. I'm watching Nathan tonight, and he's very good at coming back and targeting to receive a ball. I think he tries sometimes too much once he's received it, and I wish he would kind of refine his game to lay it off and find Gallegos, get Gallegos involved, and then make his run forward to join Patino. I think that is a threesome coming together, can be quite dangerous.
And as we cross into the 41st minute here, come to the end of the opening half, Cam Lindley and Bruno Lapa exchanging words. You know, Tim, possession's been better tonight for San Antonio FC, 42%. You can't get much worse than 38%, obviously, over the course of the season. But still, heavily outpossessed by the visitors, sitting at 58% right now.
Yeah, it's kind of get it and go as a philosophy rather than get it. We just were defending. Let's get our breath. Let's enjoy having the ball at our feet and move the ball around. You never see the switch of play, which opens up a lot of space to get penetration. And again, I think the guy who's got to control this and dictate that and insist on it is to get PC involved, because he understands that change of tempo, and that change of tempo creates many more scoring chances.
And Gallegos, as PC hesitated on his run, and that ball comes across the byline. But from, again, we've been talking about just the pace of the match and the offensive output. 7 shots for Birmingham, 6 for San Antonio so far, 2 on target for either side. So both these clubs are giving a run at one another here.
They are, and I think we're going to continue to see the shots come. Both teams look dangerous tonight going against each other.
As Dean back to Ofemu. Ofemu, who played last season with Philadelphia Union 2. Van Okel releases this one just behind Tommy Sohn in the Birmingham bench.
Yeah, I think at this point, too, is be a little bit patient. You've got 5-6 minutes left with whatever extra time they might add. The goal may come, but don't force it. Take care of the ball. Don't put yourself in a position where you're having to defend out the last 5 minutes.
Liam Doyle. It's off of Dean, and another throw for San Antonio FC.
That's a simple case of Liam, who for me is not a great threader of the ball. He prefers the longer one because it's a safer ball, but I look at that and his center backs were completely free. He could have taken his first touch back. They could have swung it around to the other side of the park and had good penetration and created a very good chance in the box.
Nearly a dangerous giveaway by Cam Lindley with Junior Flemings going after the ball, and then a run down was Patino on the edge of the box there. Van Okel and Kavita heading over. I'm sure believing that Patino might have embellished perhaps a little bit.
Well, and this is very dangerous because that will often lead to a yellow card to send not just a message to him, but a message to all the players that taking a dive or trying to sell a call in the box or near the box is not going to be tolerated. So he's got to be very careful. I mean, it's great gamesmanship, but
seems to be favoring his left shoulder, though, so take another look. Not much there, Tim.
Just some grabbing. Just some grabbing. But in no way was he pulled down, which would have resulted in a penalty.
So we play on. approaching halftime. It's Nico Brett offside as the flag is up.
Yeah, Brett shows some good pace and explosiveness there. We know Fleming's got it. I'm not sure that that's the strong suit of our three center backs, but as long as they can keep the play in front of them. And you know, it's such a hard decision for defenders. When do I hold my line? When do I drop? When do I step up? And so much of that is dictated by the player in possession. Do they have pressure on them? So that midfielder, if there's no pressure on them, then those defenders see that run by Brett or by Fleming, and they have to drop to keep the striker in front of them. But if the midfielders can get pressure on them, then they can hold their line and let that striker run into an offside position. And being new players back there, everyone's got to be on the same page with that. Otherwise, one guy tries to get him offside, the other one keeps him on.
Lappa, some good footwork there, and he'll play a good ball ahead for Jonathan Dean. His cross looking in Fleming's direction, settled, top of the box. Brett with a shot, and blocked out of the box, and then Brett and Croniali, well, decoy one another there.
We got 4 minutes.
4 minutes of added time here at the end of the first half. Kavita stride for stride there with Patino after their encounter just a moment ago. And again, it's Ryan James quickly getting forward. Eli Croniali, Jonathan Dean.
These players are going to need a restful halftime because this first 45 or 48 minutes has really been box to box. I mean, they are going up and down at high pace, and that takes a lot out of you, and I'm sure that we'll see some of that reflected with the game settling down, maybe not in the first 15 minutes of the second half, but going into the 15 to 30 minute things, I believe, will start to settle into a more possession-oriented game.
PC doesn't do well with that one. He's able to come back and recover on the ball, but he's got Williams quickly with footsteps behind him. San Antonio able to release back to the midfield. Gallegos. Lima switch the play back in between both Varela and Deplan. Cardone's out to get it over to Joaquin Varela. And now it's Gleedle for that far touch line.
This is good patience here. Just don't put yourself back under pressure. Don't be playing the game around your box. Look to build one good chance before the final whistle.
Nice build up ahead to Gallegos, who is immediately stripped coming back by Asiadu. Ofemu takes it deep into the corner. And off an eighth and a throw here awarded to Birmingham. Williams is grabbed up there by Lima, and it'll be a throw, and now Bruno Lappa trying to go quickly here for Birmingham. Sergei Demanchuk spots the ball back a few yards. J.J. Williams on the reset, gets rid of it quickly. Junior Flemings volleys it behind his intended target, Ryan James. James able to come back on the ball. Works it back to Kavita. Kavita's already become public enemy number one here at Toyota Field. It was not the fans' first choice favorite after his confrontation into the edge of the box there with Santiago Patino towards the end of this first half. Ofemu had a little bit of daylight. Asiadu back to Kavita, back to the booze. Ryan James. Nico Brett trying to play the combination back to James deep in the far corner. Gleedle watching him. Nico Brett taps it back. Settled. Brett. Flemings looking to make the turn. Well played there by PC. Footsteps coming on Asiadu, and San Antonio FC comes away with the turnover. Gallegos trying to take it all the way, and the three red jerseys collapsed on him.
Defender did a good job being patient, just running with the play, waiting for that one opportunity where a guy makes his move and he's able to pick the ball away, turn the play the other direction. So
Van Oekel is coming out of his goals, trying to push everyone forward here in the closing seconds of this first half. Williams and Doyle go up for that. And a very exciting first 45 minutes in the books here at Toyota Field as Sergei Demanchuk blows the whistle on this opening half. Just one goal, but a lot of chances on both sides. Santiago Patino, 45 seconds in, giving SAFC the 1-0 advantage at the half. But a lot of fireworks in that opening 45 minutes, and I'm sure plenty more coming up in the second half. We'll take a break. Our halftime commences on the other side. 1-0, San Antonio FC with the lead over Birmingham Legion on Viva Night here at Toyota Field.
If sweat is your body's natural way of cooling itself down, then condensation is a beer's natural way of saying, drink me. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer.
Hey, Spurs fans! At Conzone Plus, we want to hook you up with the best NBA experience you can possibly get. Upgrading your fan cave with the latest TVs, audio, and electronics is easy buckets. Plus, with our personalized approach to financing, you can get low payments over time, good credit, or building it. That's what we call nothing but net. The San Antonio Spurs always score big with Conzone Plus. Let's make it happen for you, too.
You can't predict an emergency, but have you thought about planning for one? Like, where's my closest ER? Does it take my insurance? And what is it rated? Is it worth waiting for an emergency to figure things out? At Methodist Healthcare, we've got you covered with 12 highly rated hospital-based and neighborhood ERs near you and 5 more opening in the next few months. Rest assured, your safety is our top priority. At Methodist Healthcare, your family.
You got a fast one there.
Just can't get him to slow down.
This class will help with that.
We get it. You got it. We're PetSmart.
This is Jake Edwards, and you are listening to Steal Some Time.
First buy or sell of the day. Oscar Jimenez is a top 3 set piece specialist in the USL Championship. Scott, you buying or selling that?
Take all the money in my bank account. I think Oscar, I will buy that. And really, I would say that I would have bought that from like 2017, 2018 on.
Brought down one time, what a strike! Dion, he now has a brace.
Into the back net, Dylan Mirris.
Ketterer sends it out. And a goal there by El Paso.
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardoni. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio FC back once again with the lead.
Sushi?
Underrated.
Sushi's underrated. So good.
Oh, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I think I like it a lot, and the taste is amazing. So.
See, I don't see, like, if you were to say California roll, I say overrated, but
I like a little bit of spicy crab, you know, like a little spice to it. Underrated. I'm a big Six Flags guy.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Six Flags Great Adventure, New Jersey.
Nah, a lot of people, a lot of lines. Overrated. You know, I'd rather do something else with my time.
Impossible Burgers.
Overrated.
I hadn't had it, but
you gotta get the real meat. Come on.
It's probably underrated.
Underrated.
Oof. That's my go-to.
Even though it's not the best, but still underrated.
Underrated. Big sock sleeper over here.
Overrated.
I've been criticized, so.
Don't do that, please. Underrated. Went to one yesterday for Easter with my boys.
Oh, it's good. We just had it yesterday.
Underrated. Just went yesterday. Really good.
That's good. It's good.
It's underrated. I think it's good.
Makes the game fair.
Overrated. I don't like having to go back to review and just spend like 5 minutes doing nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I know. I actually hate VAR. I'm just gonna. Nah, I hate it. Overrated. I think it takes the emotion out of the game, and I don't like it. That's all I needed.
We have been helping thousands of small businesses, not only here in San Antonio, but across our footprint. Knowing that SWBC was our partner in our health benefits and all our employee benefits was a relief for me. I knew that we could continue to do our work, we could continue to do our mission, because SWBC had our back. I tell you, for a not-for-profit, we have an excellent benefit program.
Are you feeling lucky? Is it the feel of the room, the night's endless possibilities, the excitement? Is it the sound of the machines, the shuffle of the cards? Are you feeling lucky? Well, you should be. With over 3,300 slots, great dining, top payouts, and Players Club VIP offers when you sign up, you can't help but feel lucky. And the best part, stay the night in our hotel, wake up, and
you didn't ask for it, but boy, are you gonna want it. Say cheese. The new stuffed Cheez-It Pizza, available only at Pizza Hut. Now part of the 5 and Up lineup. You're welcome.
Oh, you got a fast one there.
Just can't get him to slow down.
This class will help with that.
We get it. You got it. We're PetSmart.
It's true for PC. Great save by Matt Cardoni. Gallegos to the back post. San Antonio FC back once again with the lead. Halftime from Toyota Field. San Antonio FC up 1 over Birmingham Legion on Santiago Patino's 5th goal of the season coming in the opening minute. We welcome you back upstairs here to the broadcast booth. The coach Tim Hankinson, I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us here this evening. Whether you're at the stadium or watching at home, Coach, definitely got your money's worth there in that first 45 minutes.
First 45, the way Gallegos came inside and got his shot off. Van Oekel, their keeper, had to open hand, couldn't get both hands on it. Leaves that ball for Patino to come in and play the poacher that he's paid to play. And a great way to start the game.
Take a look at the highlights from the opening half, and here's the goal that Coach was just talking about coming in the opening minute. Gallegos getting that opportunity to drive in early. Patino there to clean up the mess for his 5th goal of the season, and poacher's just the appropriate word. He's Johnny on the spot so many times this year, Coach.
He has. I kidded before. The Spanish word for the rat looking for the cheese is raton. And he is very much that. He is always waiting for the shot, to be knocked down and there to poach, and is just a tremendous goal scorer.
A couple opportunities there for the visitors that were handled by Matt Cardone. He did get physical and trippy later on as the half went on. Kavita and Santiago Patino both handed cautions. And Oko coming away with an opportunity. And then, of course, it was Kavita and Patino. And another encounter at the end of the first half that San Antonio FC fans thought SAFC's Santiago Patino drew a penalty. It was not to be. But that being said, we've got, a 1-0 match here as we take a look at the numbers from that first half, Coach. And I mean, if you're SAFC here and you see kind of what's developed, are you maybe a little bit surprised it's only 1-0 at this point? You've kind of maybe got to reset here a little bit at halftime?
You know, it could be more in favor of San Antonio. We certainly have created the actions around the box, but we can't forget what Birmingham has done. They've hit the post twice. This could very well be a 2-1 against going into the locker room at halftime. And I think one of the things San Antonio's got to be talking about is if you go back to the Colorado game, the first game of the season, where we had a 2-goal lead going into halftime, and they came out and scored 2 against us very quickly out of the locker room. So, starting the game or starting the second half like we started the game, very important to make sure we're not switched off, but we're switched on and ready to engage the battle.
And that's been something that has actually been a problem for SAFC. They've given up 3 goals in the first quarter hour coming out of the halftime locker room in 3 matches. So something that they'll look to address and hopefully not repeat as we begin the second half here in just a bit. SAFC up 1 over Birmingham Legion as our halftime rolls along here from Toyota Field.
What's going on with Patty? Oh, he's in Mootopia again. He gets that way every time he drinks Mootopia. H-E-B Mootopia? That stuff is incredible. Exactly. Patty. Patty. Patty!
Bro, you were just a squirrel. And you were a bird. And you were a deer.
I was a deer? Rudy looked more like a squirrel type to me.
So what kind of bird are we talking about?
H-E-B's Mootopia. Ultra-filtered milk with 50% less sugar and 13 grams of protein.
Style. Performance. Power. Pancake. Turtleneck sweater. Worcestershire. Or Shire, I guess. It doesn't matter what I say. The Camry speaks for itself.
Get $1,250 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can't. Introducing an even easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
San Antonio FC up 1 over Birmingham Legion FC at the half. Santiago Patino's goal, the opening minute, the only goal so far tonight. We'll see what's in store coming up in the second half. It'll come up on the other side. 1-0 San Antonio FC over Birmingham Legion FC as we roll along on this Viva night here from Toyota Field.
What's going on with Patty? Oh, he's in Mootopia again. He gets that way every time he drinks Mootopia. H-E-B Mootopia? That stuff is incredible. Exactly. Patty. Patty. Patty!
Bro, you were just a squirrel. And you were a bird. And you were a deer.
I was a deer? Rudy looked more like a squirrel type to me.
So what kind of bird are we talking about?
H-E-B's Mootopia. Ultra-filtered milk with 50% less sugar and 13 grams of protein.
Style. Performance. Power. Pancake. Turtleneck sweater. Worcestershire. Or Shire, I guess. It doesn't matter what I say. The Camry speaks for itself.
Get $1,250 customer cash, or qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2021 Camry. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places.
At Raising Cane's, we know quality takes time, patience, and the best ingredients, which is why every chicken finger we serve is cooked to order just for you. We never take shortcuts, but that doesn't mean you can't. Introducing an even easier way to order Cane's with our new app. Find your closest restaurant, customize your meal, pay, and schedule pickup. So next time, take it easy and order with the Raising Cane's app.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Start of the second half from Toyota Field. San Antonio FC up 1 over Birmingham Legion FC. So we welcome you back with the coach Tim Hankinson, our entire crew. I'm Dan Weiss. Thanks for joining us. And look at the supporters sitting down in the Michelob Ultra bunker on this Viva night, which is paying tribute, of course, to the culture and heritage of the great city of San Antonio. SAFC wearing their Viva kits, the club's third alternate jersey, 2021. And this is one of 3 Viva nights that'll happen here at Toyota Field this season.
The fans, great to see them energizing the game. Their chants towards some of the Birmingham players, giving them a bit of a hard time. But Dan, you and I did so many games where all we could hear were the coaches on the sideline and the players on the field, because there were no fans at that point. And it's so exciting to be back with this great crowd.
We never asked if the players could hear us, but I'm not sure I want to know the answer, to be quite honest. As Sergei Demenchuk gets ready to start things here in the second half, San Antonio FC will begin up 1. As both sides stay the same in the second half from where they started the game. And we'll see what the second half calls for in terms of adjustments from both coaches. But I got to believe both coaches pretty happy with what they saw in that opening half.
There's no question about it. Both teams had their chances. I think both coaches were probably excited about, getting into the second half and making their mark on it. And I think that San Antonio's got some weapons. I mean, Coelho and Epps, there are some guys who offensively can produce goals. So it's good to have that in your back pocket.
76 degrees as we kick things off in the second half. The winds died down a little bit, just under 10 miles an hour. You think about all the rain that's been going on over the last couple of weeks here. Really, the conditions have improved mightily here. Perfect for this 2-hour segment as Nathan gets an opening bid from about 30 yards deep and turns that one wide and off a deflection. It'll be an SAFC corner here, their 4th one coming up.
Yeah, kudos to the grounds crew, because this field is perfect. It's probably not a better surface except for the PGA down in Kiowa.
And to be 76 degrees Saturday before the Memorial Day weekend, I think everybody will take that here. As Lima and Lindley, they're in the corner. It's Lindley, the right-footed outswinger, and Liam Doyle was in the vicinity. So was Mathieu Deplan, and there's Jose Gallegos giving it a go and putting it over the frame.
Liam had great elevation and a good snap header. Just didn't get on the end of it, but very close. Very dangerous.
Nico Brett onside as he runs here on Varela. Back to James. Switch the play across. Jonathan Dean. Chips it into the box. Lands to Brett and puts that header just wide of goal. Came right in between both Varela and Gleedle. Nico Brett's not a big forward, Tim. He's only 5'8", yet somehow still managed to find a way to slip in between the two defenders.
Yeah, it's incredible to get a full header on goal and you didn't even jump for it. So that's something we have to be paying more attention to. He's a good player, though. He's out of Harborview, Jamaica, making his mark here. It's good.
2 saves in that first half for Matt Cardoni and twice saved by the woodwork. And it's Junior Flemings who'll bring this one down. Meeting him there is Varela.
Varela did a great job reading that one-on-one move and picking it off.
Kavita brushing off Gallegos. Bruno Lappa. And hard challenge there delivered from Cam Lindley.
And you know, when there are new players joining the club like Varela from a different country, as fans, we're not familiar with what his strengths and weaknesses are. But I think that tackle one-on-one against a very quick player showed great quality, so that's exciting to see. He brings that to the game.
Gallegos hits the deck here momentarily, and again, this is the first time he's played more than 45 minutes this season. Began training injured after he went on trial to both Bayern Munich and FC Barcelona. So it's a little bit of a slower start for Jose. And man, did he do a number in terms of his activity in the first half. So this is not surprising to see him, you know, maybe a little bit light on the conditioning here as we kick things off in the second half.
Well, and again, when you have a player like Cuello that can come in and play in that exact same role in a similar style, there's no reason to stress the young player who's, I'm sure, still working on getting his full match fitness back. And here's another one down.
And that's Galito.
But again, might be a great chance for someone like Epps to come in.
As Alan Marcinus surveys his bench. Once again here in 2021, the USL Championship is going to 5 substitutes. And the other interesting factor that not only USL but several leagues are trying this year is the concussion substitute as well, Tim, where you have, if needed, 2 opportunities in game to use a substitute for concussion. And if you do use one of those substitutes, then the team opposite you gets an additional substitute if necessary, a 6th substitute in this instance, as Glito's going to come off here. Not sure if he's going to be able to continue.
It's such a dangerous thing, the potential of a concussion, because a player can take a knock in the head, going for a ball in the air, and come off to be evaluated and basically say, I'm okay to go. And all of a sudden gets back in there and takes another slight knock, and the next thing you know, his career is done. You know, so it's those kind of precautionary changes to the rule that allow teams to get a guy out and not take the risk of forcing him in because they're afraid of using a substitute is definitely a benefit to the game and the health of players.
Bruno Lappa too heavy on that delivery as he whips it across, and Cardoni's able to scamper over to that far post to claim it. To your point, Coach, looks like it's Emil Cuello who's getting ready on the San Antonio sidelines to come into the match here.
You know, I've seen him play 2 positions. One is as a left midfielder, which when they played with a back 4, a left midfielder of his finesse and qualities, whose game is not really so much about tracking back and defending. You've always got that wing back sitting behind you to protect you. But in a 3-back system, it's much harder to play in the wide position. But with Gallegos and all like that, his ability to, well, it looks like he's come in to play alongside PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Glito not able to continue, and in the 52nd minute, it's Cuello who is on. Cuello, who started the first 3 matches of the season, coming on for the first time as a sub. That's off of Ryan James. It'll be a throw for San Antonio.
But I've been very impressed with him in the first few games that he's played. He's just shows great grit, which I know Coach Marcina preaches. His technical ability in tight spaces and beating players and finding the open man. He's a tremendous midfielder.
And think of the talent right now, Coach, we've got on the field here as Gallegos is down again. And they may need to sub him out here early on in the second half. But to my point, there are 4 first-round picks from the 2019 Major League Soccer Super Draft that are on the field right now. Patino, number 3 to Orlando City. J.J. Williams, number 18 to Columbus Crew. Emil Cuello, the very next pick, number 19 to L.A. Galaxy. And then Anderson Asiadu, number 24 to Atlanta United. 4 first-round picks from 2 Major League Soccer Super Drafts all on the field here tonight.
I wonder why these Major League teams got it so wrong. Yeah. How do you draft in the first round and not retain that player? They need to give these players more time to develop at that level. It is a big step. And I know at one time I had 3 number 1 overall picks, but I never drafted one of them. They were put on waivers later in the year, and of course you're going to pick them up to see what you can do with them.
So Gallegos unable to continue as well, and so 2 quick substitutes, and it's the 2 players who have started opposite each other on the wings to begin the season. And Emil Cuello and Marcus Seps is now on for the 4th time this season in place of Gallegos, who set up the opening goal to Patino 45 seconds in as San Antonio comes up with possession. And it's Cam Lindley who gets run off the ball there, and they're going to call James for a foul as Lindley, who was down earlier in the first half, will slow to get back up. Marcus Seps and Emil Cuello each with a goal in their first 3 starts of the season, as Gleadle and Gallegos have both departed.
It was interesting as Epps came on looking to play more central in an attacking role. Whereas I've seen him on the left, I've seen him on the right, so something new.
That ball gets through on Lindley's bid from about 35 yards out, and Alan Marcina was looking that hopeful that there was going to be a receiver on the end of it, and somehow it got by everybody. Patino and then Duplan was the last man at the far post. Duplan releasing this one back upfield. Asiadu.
Asiadu is a very busy guy. A very good number 6 in there, or at least plays in the style of a number 6.
And I often find that the number 6 wears number 6,
wears number
as
6,
both
as
number
is a
6s are wearing tonight.
Right. How true.
Lapa. Croniali. Croniali trying to give this one a go. That's off the back there of PC. Trying to release back upfield. He's going to get to this one. Asiadu with a recovery. And we play on.
Great flick on by Nathan to feed PC into that space. That kind of awareness when you don't actually have a full view of that direction. It's just a sense of knowing where your teammates are.
Well, still about 5 minutes left in what's kind of been this danger zone for SAFC, the opening quarter hour of the second half, where they've conceded 3 of the 4 goals that they've allowed this year. Birmingham with the throw. Junior Flemings upended right at the corner of the box. There's an opportunity, and flicked along by Patino, and just wide. It was Nathan, rather, got on the end of it, and he flicked it just wide over the keeper Van Okel, but a good effort nonetheless.
That would be my vote for goal of the week if that had gone in. So spectacular.
It was Patino who actually maneuvered it forward to Nathan.
Great to see the bicycle kick, very creative, opportunistic. It's too bad that Nathan couldn't do a little bit better with that one. And a goal like that certainly breaks any momentum that Birmingham would have come out of the locker room with.
Lapa with a weak bid. Cardoni picks it up in front of Nico Brett. San Antonio FC holding on to this 1-0 advantage, which they've had since the opening minute. Marcus Seps, first touch.
Very well taken down.
Cuello cuts it back to the middle. Looking for Epps. Good ball. Epps to the end of it. Great save.
Great setup by Cuello. The pace on that was just perfect, perfectly timed and placed. Just a little bit unlucky for Epps.
The keeper, Van Oekel, getting his left foot out to deny that bid by Marcus Epps. Set up by Emil Cuello, the 2 second-half substitutes here early on. DePlan, Varela. And not the best header there from Jonathan Dean as it lands back. And good recovery coming from Asiadu as he stepped in front of Nathan to break up that possible opportunity, with Lima setting things up from the far touchline. Now it's Epps' corner of the box. Epps driving wide around Dean. Back out top, the shot, it's headed and kept away from goal there by Ryan James, the left back.
Great defensive play by James. The Canadian did great on that one. And a good approach by San Antonio to put that ball on frame.
And so James with a second save here in this second half. And a corner for San Antonio FC is their 5th of the evening.
See if Doyle can get up like he did that last corner. Came so close.
Lima to the near post, and Van Oekel will take it there. Quickly moving it, tapped along, and we're going to play the advantage momentarily, but the challenge was just too hard from Emil Cuello as you got Junior Flemings, and Cuello shown yellow. Flemings will continue. And the 4th yellow of the evening, make it the 3rd yellow of the evening, handed out to San Antonio FC. It's Cuello's 2nd of the year.
Always the hardship of being successful is you become a target, you know, and they're not going to let Fleming get his runs off in the same way that teams are starting to play Patino much more physically.
Kavita out wide. Lapa. James. Ofemu. Kranyali. And Ofemu will switch the play across. There's a good build-up now for Birmingham. Dean. Flips it off to J.J. Williams. And Williams tried to play it around PC and off himself. San Antonio FC with the throw. And Williams a little bit slow to get back up. Looks like he might have got poked in the eye, perhaps. Yeah, got knocked right there. The right arm of PC inadvertently.
Well, clearly a foul. I mean, that's 2-3 times in that sequence. PC's hands were up in his face.
Not called in this instance, though. Yeah, San Antonio able to release it back upfield. Ofemu, pressure coming from Nathan on him as Ofemu gets rid of it. Heavy touch there from Asiadu. San Antonio FC off the turnover. Will concede possession back. Kranyali tried to weave his way through a crowd, but unsuccessful coming out. And a foul on Kranyali, and the reset for San Antonio FC here as we move into the 63rd minute.
Teams are trying to play possession and not quite completing after that second or third pass to get really their attack going. That can clean up that detail and can progress past the halfway, then we'll start seeing more shooting opportunities.
Lindley looks like he might have gotten hit down on the right wrist, seemed to be favoring that as he came up after that heavy touch. Well, as Epps makes the move into space, Epps with a shot that's blocked in front. Tremendous effort by Marcus Epps. His low shot, however, did not get through the crowd, and then that's off of PC, and a throw coming up here as Varela, remember, he's sitting on a yellow already with Junior Flemings, and now, again, that's Lindley, who seemed to be favoring his wrist after the heavy touch and went after the ball and went down.
Love seeing Epps one-on-one move, even though he's playing more centrally to sub in as he has. Is in previous games, we've seen him on the right, we've seen him on the left, and when a player is more comfortable in a position, his confidence to take risks and take a player on, as we saw there, can certainly lead to a more dangerous action.
Yeah, and again, Cam Lindley, he's pointing to his right elbow. And as he gets attention.
He's performed well for the team. I know he's out of Indianapolis, played at North Carolina, was with Indy 11 for a bit, and talked to Greg Rakeshaw, who does a Soccer Saturday show there last week, and they were asking about him. You know, he's still got some fanfare there. But I think he's come in here and found his place, found his home, doing a great job.
What this looks like, though, doesn't look very good, as he's trying to add some pressure here on that right arm towards his elbow. So that gets worked on. Kavita coming over.
Yeah, it looks like it's right in that joint area.
Yeah. Well, looks like he's going to try to continue. Meanwhile, Birmingham getting forward there as Duplan directs it out. Lindley will come back on here momentarily. Legion with the throw. They trail by 1 here in the 66th minute.
Yeah, you can see how he's running now, holding that arm close to his side, not really freeing it up to swing as in stride like you normally would have. And that limits you as a player, you know, the ability to have to avoid contact with your forearm, to hold off an opponent or to challenge an opponent. We'll see how long he lasts. It's not an easy injury to get over in the minutes he had.
Jaden Cervania will be the first substitute of the night for Tommy Soane's Birmingham Legion, as he'll come on for the defender, Ben Ofemu. Cervania is the 19-year-old from Birmingham. Will appear in his 4th match. 3 goals last season in 17 matches with the club. It's out of the Houston Dynamo Academy. And he'll take the defender Ofemu out, so they'll go to 3 in the back here, coach, and try to get a little more creative up front.
Yeah, that will help even up the numbers in the midfield that they seem to have trouble catching up to from time to time.
Manchuk let the contact go back downfield in front of Matt Cardoni. Cam Lindley appears to be moving that arm a little bit better here as he makes the throw there.
If he's throwing long like that, I guess he's just fine.
Marcus Epps whips that one in, headed out. Lindley brings it back down. Epps. Lindley switching the play. Lima, heavy touch, was trying to get it to Cuello. Croniali will return to Van Oekel.
Good posturing right now, pressing high, trying to keep the game down and the opponent's in.
Williams volleying it back. James. Or rather, Cervania with his first touch. Epps turning out wide.
Epps needs some help on this side.
4 red jerseys coming on him. Nearly split through all 4 of them. Corniali will take it away. Good touch there from Asidio to Lapa. Lindley ahead of Junior Flemings, directs it back to Cardoni.
Yeah, you can see they're always trying to possess, and spring Junior into space.
Patino with a good ball. Lima upfield. Cervania gets back defensively. Patino switching the play over to Epps. He'll bring it down. Epps gives it a go off his left. Van Oekel will claim it. And it's Junior Flemings once again getting forward. Trying to dive his way through Cam Lindley. He goes to ground.
It's been interesting to see Patino come back, checking back for the ball. Almost as if he's saying, guys, I can't be running over the top every single time. Let's check back for the ball, play to feed, keep it a little bit, and then I'll see you over the top as we get closer to goal.
Doyle play it off the defender, and San Antonio with the throw. Much more of a chess match, though, here in the second half.
It is slowed down
considerably. And still not to take away. I mean, Birmingham has had 3 shots in the second half. San Antonio's had 5 shots in the second half. The only shot on target, though, was the one that Van Oekel kicked out. Nathan, of course, had the chip that, unfortunately, didn't find any guac in the back of the net.
Yeah. And, you know, with a 1-0 lead, you look at San Antonio, you know, where you say, you know, what should they do? Should they sit back and defend out of it? But I think coming out of the Rio Grande game, this is a team that has got to stay on their front foot, continue to press, and keep Birmingham off balance, as well as looking for that second goal.
Ryan James finds Lapa. Junior Flemings, Nico Brett, nice combination. Back to Flemings, gives it a go, just wide. And they were finally able to build something up out of the back end through James into the middle of the park. And Lapa converging with Nico Brett and Junior Flemings. And Flemings gets on the end of this one. But keeping him about as far away from the box is job, and not an easy job, coach, of every defender in this league.
Well, you know, I just said, you know, keep pressing high, but the danger is with that is that your defensive line is higher and more space behind you. So for a guy like Fleming, that plays to his suit, but I really feel that for us to sit back, being that we've given up some soft goals in the second half against teams, and I really think we've got to get back on being an attacking team, and we've got the 1 goal in the first 45 seconds. This is a game at home. You've got to be looking for that second goal to put them away.
5 goals in the first half now for San Antonio FC. 1 conceded, and different story in the second half where SAFC has scored twice but conceded 3 times.
This is good. We're seeing San Antonio start to play a little bit, and that's because PC and Cuello are starting to get involved, asking for the ball, not leaving up to a defender to make an intricate pass.
And this one threw across here for Lindley. Returning it to Epps, who's trying to play it through to Patino. Intercepted. Flemings. Varela stepping in front of him. Varela's done well tonight.
He has. The way he kept Fleming from turning and facing and running at him was very smart, and he wasn't having to play him overly physical where you end up giving up the foul. So very, very good defending tonight for him.
And Junior's night is done. He'll come out here in the 73rd minute, replaced by the 22-year-old Freddie Kleeman, who was Austin FC's second pick in the first round of this past Major League Soccer Super Draft, taken 11th overall, defender out of the University of Washington, coming on for his first appearance since joining Birmingham Legion on loan. This is going to be a card for a reckless play inside the box there on Nathan. 74th minute on Nathan. But the caution, the fourth of the night, assessed to San Antonio FC as you take a look at it there. Remember, had the red the last time SAFC was at home against Real Monarchs.
Yeah, the swing of the leg was quite a bit reckless, endangering the Birmingham player.
Kleeman, first touch. Kavita, J.J. Williams, nice combination play. A little heavy there for Williams, trying to keep it alive, heads it back to James, keeps it alive on the touchline, crosses it into space. Liam Doyle, a nice play, stepping in front there of Nico Brett.
Got to be careful of those moments because Lindley, playing one-on-one, thought that James was offside and started holding his hand up looking for the call, and that allowed James to have the time to get that cross off. Players have got to understand that it's okay to have your hand up, but you got to keep playing.
And Jordan Peruzza, who we mentioned at the top, just joining SAFC, returning on loan once again from Toronto FC, will make his first appearance here in the 75th minute for the final quarter hour. He'll take out Nathan, who just went down a moment ago. Peruzza, 20 years of age, the Toronto homegrown product, the 24th homegrown player signed by Toronto FC. Made his Major League Soccer debut on April 17th of this season against Montreal. This is his 35th career appearance. Last season, of course, 3 goals in 5 matches for SAFC in the regular season. And remember, Tim, if it's not for the Cody Mizell save off the corner in the first half against New Mexico United, we could have been talking about an entirely different postseason for San Antonio FC.
No question. I think this is an exciting substitute. He is a player that comes in to impact the game at that moment, as soon as he enters. And he's active, he's got pace and power, but his accuracy to find corners of the net is outstanding. So a perfect substitution, looking to get that second goal.
Alan Marcina last year called him the perfect culture fit. Just said he's extremely strong and he's an explosive finisher. And we saw that on so many occasions last year.
Yeah, these are the kind of loans you kind of shake your head and say, what is Toronto thinking? Why would they think that they don't need him? I mean, I think he's an outstanding MLS player and certainly has a great future in that league. But
San Antonio says thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
and really it was the relationship that they had with Toronto last year, because remember, Peruzza had been playing with Toronto FC too, but because of the border issues due to COVID, TFC2 didn't have a season last year, and they had to get Peruzza playing time, and San Antonio FC was fortunate to have availability to bring on a player of the caliber of Jordan Peruzza.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is going to create further competition with the forwards. Obviously, Patino is set his course. Nathan is not shown to be yet a dynamic scorer, but Peruzza is, and that's going to create competition within the group. And I think we'll probably see Peruzza start to step in there as an eventual starter.
Peruzza has 17 goals in 28 matches with TFC2 over his first couple of seasons. And the one forward that we haven't even gotten a chance to talk about yet is Justin Dillon, an off-season signee for SAFC. He's missed the first 4 matches with an injury, 12 goals in 25 matches with Tacoma Defiance just 2 years ago. And
yeah, they have a stacked roster. I mean, it's very exciting. We just haven't seen all their weapons yet, and that time will come, but it's great to see a new face that's just gotten here that we have confidence in and we know he can do the job, enter the game like Perusa has.
Freddie Kleeman. Fanuel Kavita. Asidio with the turn. J.J. Williams unable to get past again. Varela, whether it's been Junior Flemings or in this case J.J. Williams, has stepped up and done the job. That looked like it went off the hand of Cuello, but they'll play on. Cuello concedes regardless. Asidio. And Williams down in the corner.
They've got to close down the ball, get tighter, too much room.
It's one of those dangerous low balls that you never know when it takes a deflection where it could end up. Released out by Duplan. 2 more substitutes coming up here for Birmingham. And this is their final substitution window, the 3rd and final one, as it'll be the former SAFC midfielder Zachary Harivo will come on. And Daigo Kobayashi, the 38-year-old Japanese national, 21st pro season here late in the game. And Kobayashi will get his first touch.
Harivo had such an outstanding season. I know he had injuries in the second half, but he was outstanding in the lineup for SAFC.
This is his season debut with Birmingham. It is his second stint with Birmingham. Had 23 appearances and a goal 2 years ago in 2019 before he joined San Antonio for the 2020 campaign, and tries to give it a go right there for his first touch, and instead lands to Cuello, will come the other way. Perusa will get on the end of this one. Getting it back to the inside, goes to the outside, drives it on frame, and a save there by Van Oekel, and turned out by Kavita will result in a corner. And Jordan Perusa, happy to have you back, that's for certain.
It is, and really one of those perfect setups that you expect Patino to be right there, and he was close. But that open hand save, leaving that 50-50 ball, or that poacher ball there for him, really was there for the taking.
We'll set up the 6th corner of the match here for San Antonio FC as we come down to the final 10 minutes. And another yellow for SAFC for delay on Lindley. Five cautions handed out to San Antonio FC tonight. Patino, his 4th. Varela, Cuello, Nathan, and now Cam Lindley. This ball balloons across, brought down by Duplan, lands to Perusa, and Perusa, no! But SAFC drives it back in. Perusa, yes! San Antonio up 2.
Well, we said it was the perfect sub, and he proved it there. Making coach look good tonight.
In the 82nd minute, Jordan Perusa. They weren't taking chances on the rebound. I thought for a moment he might have not gotten all of it. Might have gone off the bar, but definitely puts it back up and in. SAFC up 2 here late in the match.
Yeah, and this is the beginning of showing Patino and Perusa. You've got 2 scorers now that are polished finishers. And that doesn't count Nathan out, but we've seen Perusa before, and I'm confident he'll win the job before this is all said and done, and have a basket full of goals to show for it.
Perusa, his 4th as a member of SAFC, first of the season, and his first match. Gets the job done. So dynamic, even fooled me for a second, but clearly his goal.
Well, and you know, the other thing is we've talked about, there are only like 9 players are new. So the other 9 starters, other than Cardone and PC, don't really know necessarily what Perusa can do. And so a night like tonight, to come in off the bench and get that nail in the coffin, so to speak, to help him get that result, is going to build the confidence of everyone in him from the first night he's been on the park.
That is Jordan Perusa's 21st goal in only 35 career matches. You total his time between TFC2, just the 6 matches with SAFC where he's got 4 now, and the 1 Major League Soccer match. But man, oh man, what an addition.
Well, when you can score a goal every other game, basically, on average, you're a heck of a striker. You're a heck of a goal scorer.
Came on in the 75th minute, scores in the 81st.
Birmingham's got to show composure. You know, I mean, they're running out of time. There's no question. But you get one and make this 2-1, and then it becomes just a rat race. You know, the game gets crazy at that point, and anything is possible. But you've got to compose yourself as Birmingham and start to build your opportunities and get great chances. I said this last game is there are immature chances and there are mature chances. And immature chances are what we have typically seen, but a mature chance is building, great passing, set up, get a realistic shot that you can get it on frame to get that goal.
Here's Epps. Cuts it back. Cuello. Patino trying to make the run. Kavita in front of him. That's the first time that Birmingham has conceded twice in a game this season. And San Antonio FC with their 7th and 8th goals of the campaign.
Well, and we said in the pregame chat, one of the things that stands out over the course of the season, how Birmingham is struggling to score goals. And here again, we see it with nothing to show tonight. And even though they've got last year's top scorer in junior, they've got to have more to work with than that. And that's what excites me about the addition of Perusa. It's not just about Patino at this point. It's about that partnership building to produce multiple players that can produce goals.
Perusa with some nifty footwork over there. And a set up on the combination of the return ball. Asidio.
Is that PC down?
It is.
I think he took a kick, the back of the leg.
As we come to the final minutes, PC back to his feet. There's the Asidio.
Yeah, there's no doubt he got kicked. But the other thing you start to look at, which is why there was a yellow card on the corner kick before, is delay, kill the clock, manage yourself. How do we close out this game? How do we want to play it? And part of that is just the gamesmanship of making the clock work in your behalf. And being down with an injury, there's no reason to rush getting back to your feet.
James returning it to Kleeman. Dean. Kobayashi. Cervania on the far side. Dean looking to run it down to the corner. Good tackle from Duplan. And a goal kick to Matt Cardone. Williams will slow to get up here.
That's it, Mr. Williams. Get up.
Yeah.
Let's get the game going again. If you're Birmingham, you're not looking to slow things down. You're looking to speed it up, get the ball in play.
Well, seem at times a little resigned to their fate here in these closing minutes. The Perusa goal taking the wind out of their sails.
Well, and these are the things also, is that as defenders for Birmingham, Perusa's just come on the scene, not necessarily in the scouting report or video that you would want to educate your defenders to be aware of. And suddenly he comes in, a little bit of a surprise. Like I said, a very good substitute for the kind of player he is, very explosive coming into games. And it paid off.
Asiadu over to Kavita. Asiadu will switch over to Kleeman. And again, the build-up through Jonathan Dean. Cervania. He absorbs the contact there from PC. Into the 90th minute. 2-0 SAFC with the lead. Zachary Harivo. Williams upended off the tackle there from Duplan. Harivo was looking in Nico Brett's direction. That pinball's off a couple of bodies. You see an extensive 7 minutes of added time.
That's like going overtime. That's a lot of minutes.
Kobayashi. And the save from Cardone, it's there, and Cardone with a huge save off of James's bid on the rebound, trying to get the visitors on the board.
I'll tell you, the keepers work on that so often. You go down to make the first save. How quickly can you get back to your feet? And he does a brilliant job at that. Makes himself big and comes up with that block.
You see he's fired up, and then he'll come away with the ball there, even though it wouldn't have mattered as a foul inside. And it was Kavita again. Whistle for the foul.
And we have a man down with cramps, it looks like.
Oh, a tremendous, tremendous reaction save from Matt Cardone after the first one off of Kobayashi. He got a piece of, but Ryan James was right on the doorstep looking to bang it back home and give Birmingham some late life here. And Cardone snuffs that one out.
Still a good 5 minutes here. It's just everyone's got to keep playing. Can't switch off. Keep doing what you've been doing. Defend well as a group. Challenge as they try to play the entry pass or on the dribble. Always move to give each other help. And when you win the ball, let's keep it a little bit and kill some of this clock and get these 3 points in the books.
Williams. Brett back to Williams. Williams inside. Here's Harivo. Back to Ryan James. Zachary Harivo. Little space, corner of the box, into the area. Cervania was unable to turn. Patino. Got it started in the opening minute. Now SAFC looking to finish it off. Patino. Leaves it to Epps. Epps. Inside, cuts it back. Patino just turned it wide.
Great action, great feed to Epps, and his first touch, brilliant to get inside that defender. Very well executed, just that final touch.
As we approach the halfway mark of added time. Good anticipation by Cuello. Fortunate deflection for SAFC, though.
You got to step back up here. Don't be playing around your box. Play the game further away.
Asiadu.
Every time you start playing at the top of your 18, then negative things can happen.
Haribo out wide. Dean. Again, James volleys that along. Brett puts it in. And Birmingham Legion has the goal. And Nico Brett has all 3 Legion goals this season as he scores in stoppage time, about 3 minutes remaining.
And with 3 minutes, you can see Birmingham's going to come at him full force. Probably a lot of driven balls towards the box, flooding the box, knowing that they don't have as much time to build up. And San Antonio just needs to stay composed, you know, defend well, win the ball, play your possession, build up for a good chance for yourself.
So Nico Brett with his 3rd goal of the season, all 3 Legion goals this season, his responsibility. But again, just a couple of minutes remaining. Van Okel coming out. Asiadu. Back to the middle of the park. Again, James. This is where this came from the first time. It's Cuello there, or rather Lima with the anticipation, directing it out. Zachary Haribo. Touch combination play gets through James and driven out by Lindley. 90 seconds or so remaining. Kobayashi the throw. Haribo the touch back. Daigo Kobayashi.
You need service. Can't play a small game in the corner of the field. You need service.
Flicked along by James. Kleeman. As we enter the final minute of added time. Nico Brett. Does he have another one in him?
Got 7 players in the box.
Asiadu gives it a go to the corner. Saved by Cardone. And Lima releases it forward.
That was a great save. Hard to see. A lot of players standing in front, and he's going for that bender to the far post. Great anticipation by the beard there.
Pretty good fight by Birmingham here at the end. San Antonio with Perusa. Tried to take it through the crowd, unsuccessful. Maybe one last push for the visitors. Into the box, at the end of it is Williams in an offside position, and the flag is up.
Should be a card for pulling a player down. Maybe just a verbal warning.
There's that last save, Coach. Asiadu was looking for that back post.
He was. Well placed shot.
And Legion might just have run out of time here at the end, but again, not without a decent fight here at the finish. San Antonio FC looking to see this one out.
Fun 7 minutes. But nothing better than that first 45 today.
That's certainly true. And it'll appear Jordan Perusa will have the winner for SAFC here if they can hang on to these closing seconds. Osiadu upfield. Here's James. They'll give him one last go. Williams, upended, foul called.
Ooh, everyone's in the box. Here comes Van Oekel,
Yep.
the Birmingham keeper.
And this will be the last opportunity, you'd figure, as we're already a minute past the allotted 7.
I don't think we have a defender at 6'4" for Van Oekel.
And Kobayashi, this is his specialty, to deliver the service.
Looks like everything's centered around a far post ball, far side of the 6-yard box. Drop it in there and look to head it across.
Final play of the match, assuming nothing nefarious inside the area. There's Van Oekel coming across the top of the 18-yard line. Kobayashi delivers it in, headed out. Still alive on the corner, brought down there as Williams will play on. And San Antonio FC will hang on, a 2-1 win over Birmingham Legion, as they pick up their second victory of the season, and it's Jordan Perusa's game winner. Coming on in the 75th minute, Perusa scoring 6 minutes later, delivers all 3 points to San Antonio FC tonight, 2-1 the final.
Yeah, great clearance header by Doyle for San Antonio on that final service there, with all the Birmingham players flooding the box. It's a great play and one of the best defensive plays of the night.
San Antonio FC improving to 2-1-1 on the season as they earn the win over Birmingham Legion. Your club season continues next Saturday against RGV. Kickoff at 7:30 here on ESPN+. Now, for Tim Hankinson, our entire crew, I'm Dan Weiss saying thanking you for joining us. Our final from Toyota Field, SAFC 2, Birmingham Legion 1. This has been a presentation of the USL and Spurs Sports and Entertainment. So long, everybody.